Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. Listen up. What I'm fixing to show you is irrefutable evidence that BlackRock, the World Economic Forum, Carl Schwab, all these globalists have one common agenda, and that is to destroy the earth and everybody in it so they can rebuild it in their own image. Watch this.
And issued on the private blockchains of Wall Street banks. The warring factions within the Davos squabble over the spoils but never against the plan. Fulfilling Agenda 2030 requires complicit cooperation as much as compromised corporations. Do not confuse free market capitalism with cronyism or cartelism, which is the capitalist model embodied by Fink and his fellow Wall Street ilk. The problem is not just what they are planning.
Hello, everyone. My name is Samantha. I am the owner and operator of a 2-acre farmstead located in Southeast Louisiana. My background is education, but it seems God has really moved me in a different direction. Sometime around 2020, I became very concerned about the lockdowns in this country and the loss of freedoms because I am a constitutionalist. I was raised by parents who loved this country, and I'd like to see it return to its original intent. But to do that, we have to educate the world, folks, on how the Constitution is supposed to work. And then we have to dismantle how America has become basically a huge corporation. So let's start by talking about corporations like BlackRock. So BlackRock is known for investing 33% of all the educators in the United States, their pensions and retirement funds. Florida pulled out. Louisiana pulled out all of their retirement funds for BlackRock for one reason. The BlackRock CEO was recorded saying this.
You have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted.
DEIs. And yeah, I mean diversity. And I'm saying it with the hard R. Can't you read, boy? That sign there says no inclusions allowed. That includes you. You little equity.
So basically, every company that's on the stock market that has shares, stakeholders, needs to force ESG scores. Now, we all know what they're talking about. Environmental, social, governance goals, right? That's all coming down from the WEF, folks. That's all how it's all connected. This is like if in your mind, you could put globalist on a circle, in a circle, and then create a thinking map out from it, and then fill in all the connections. You would see Vanguard, BlackRock, WF, UN, WHO. You see what I'm saying? Global leaders, politicians, all coming back to this one world thought process. Now, as a Christian, I know what the Bible tells me, written thousands of years ago, that this was going to happen. But you and I are living it. And I know that it can feel overwhelming, but we're not helpless, folks. So I need you to do a couple of things for me real quick. Hit the thumbs up on this video. Drop a comment, who you are, where you're from. Subscribe to the channel. Consider getting our newsletter that comes out twice a month that talks about all these videos in a depth that I simply cannot do here. And possibly send $1 to support our mission trip back to Maui. Because if you're not aware, that, my friend, was not a wildfire. A lot going on with the Lahaina fire from August of 2023. We're going to be back on that island from August 1st to the 12th. And those victims and this trip needs your support. We all need to row together. I think it's easier for you to find all your information kind of in long form video. So here we go. Watch this.
Financial shock to fight global warming. Around the same time, World Economic Forum founder and executive chairman Klaus Schwab also made a similar statement about revamping the global economy. In his words, "Every country from the United States to China must participate, and every industry from oil and gas to tech must be transformed. We need a great reset of capitalism," Schwab added in an article published on the non-governmental organization's website. According to popular investigative journalist Whitney Webb, what we are witnessing is the birth of a new international monetary system, a replacement for the current Bretton Woods system built solely on the blockchain to aid the complete surveillance and censorship of every aspect of our lives. Whitney's warnings are based on the words of several global elites.
So, what do we know? We know that BlackRock is pushing any global company that has stakeholders and investments in the stock market to push the climate change, the new Green Deal, ESG scores, okay? We know that people like Microsoft, that's all I'm going to say, you all know who owns that, is also involved in the same end as World Economic Forum, BlackRock, Microsoft, Google. Now, right now, across the entire world, you've got interference through a Microsoft platform of airlines, 911, global power outages, stock market taking a hit. I mean, come on, folks. Come on. This is all connected. It is so much bigger than the average person realizes. What are they fixing to do? Now, for the ones of you wondering, CrowdStrike is the company that's having the Microsoft issue right now. Look who their number one investment company is, guys. Can everybody say BlackRock? Donald Trump's going to win the election. They tried impeachment, not once but twice. They tried to have him arrested, and they failed. Right? All these fake nonsense felonies. Now they tried to kill him, and they're trying to tell us a 20-year-old did it, and nobody was aware. Nobody's buying that story. Now what they're going to do is crash the stock market because they have one thing that they all want, and this is it.
Is positioning themselves to be one of the key players in that space. They acquired, I think they're called GIP, one of the biggest infrastructure, developers in the world. And I think one of their top guys at Davos just a few months ago was talking about how they're betting really big on infrastructure going forward, and it's going to be one of the biggest investment opportunities of the next several decades, actually. So I think they're quite ambitious, and if people aren't aware of this, I'm sure they'll get away with it, but we'll see. One of the things too about the natural asset thing, at least as far as the natural asset corporation model is concerned, is that you literally just go into a forest or you go to a river or lake and you identify the natural asset, and then at no cost to you, just after identifying it, you issue shares in the natural asset, a lake, a forest, whatever, and then you sell those shares to sovereign wealth funds, asset managers, whatever, and then you have an IPO and generate all this money. I mean, it's literally just pointing out something outside and being like, this is mine, I'm going to fractionalize it and sell it to people, and you're producing money in like, out of thin air, right, essentially. Yeah. And you're able to do that. I mean, the natural world is vast and huge, and they're doing this, they're financializing it all as framing it as the only way to save the planet. Right. But really it's the only way for them to save their insane debt racket.
In their joint February article titled Tokenized, BlackRock's Plan to Own the Fractionalized World, Whitney and Mark give
obligations on the record, like on the board, so that when the system pops, they'll all pop. When the debt bubble pops, every debt bubble will pop. It will be everything all at once. It won't just be like, oh, Japan's fine, the US is like, it won't work like that. Everything will pop at once. So in this weird way, you actually want to create as much debt as possible right before the pin bursts the bubble, and then you can offer this, hey, we'll service your debt 1-to-1 if you come join this new universal tokenized ledger, just sign up here, do a selfie of your face and give us your biometrics, and then here you are.
The solution has been created.
And for those of you who are still not convinced, think about how much money Biden has sent Ukraine, and I'm talking cash money. They are funneling our tax dollars out of the United States at a rapid pace while increasing our national debt into the multi-trillions. Now, who owns that debt? Tick tock, tick tock. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, what do you think is going to happen now? They're going to create a diversion. They're going to create a war. They're going to create a disease. They're going to crash the stock market. Why do you think so many people were shortchanging Donald Trump's True Social the day before they took a pot shot at him?
Well, there was a ton of companies basically doing shorts the entire week before. Okay? You got here Thursday volume, Friday volume, Thursday volume. Friday volume almost tenfold. Thursday high, $30. Friday, $15,000. Okay? It just sounds really strange the way it's out there. This extreme swing in volume should definitely warrant further looking into that 801% increase in one day. He's talking about the volume. So, and the price is like way more than that. It's like what, 30 to 15,000. Talking about where, of course, something happened with some towers. Yeah, some trading went on the day before on that one too. It's kind of weird. Oh, it's a little strange how all this stuff seems to happen just coincidentally.
Now, I've been ringing this warning bell for months, trying to wake people up. It's not just this attack on our computer systems with banks, emergency services, airlines. I mean, come on, even freight is getting backed up. So there you go with the whole supply chain falling apart again. They're going to crash the entire stock market sometime in 2025. America, get out of debt. If you have money tied up in the stock market, take it out. Take it out because the dollar is fixing to lose all its value. What can you do? Get out of debt. Live within your means. And is that comfortable all the time? No. But that is called being an adult. If your mortgage is too much for you to cover without you having to pay the rest of your bills on a credit card, sell your house. I know it's not a popular thing. You're going to hear very few content creators get real with you being responsible about money management. But at this stage, I'm not going to have somebody come back a year from now and go, you didn't tell me that they were going to take my house from me. They're going to do exactly what they did in the Great Depression. History repeats itself. Every home mortgage is going to get called in by the bank. And when you can't pay it, they're going to kick you and your family out on the street, and they're going to put a migrant family in your house. Don't believe me, do you? Of course you don't. Think I'm being over the top. I'm being in a conspiracy theory. I'm stirring the pot. Really? Because look what this migrant just said in Ireland for all those migrants to go do.
Dirty racist Dubliners strikes again in Coolock. They're displacing migrants today, setting things on fire as usual because they're savages and they don't have respect for the country. So they burn things when they don't get their own way. So I'm telling all migrants, go and take their houses, bro. Go and take their houses, take their cars, take everything they own. Who do they think they are displacing people in this world? This is not your world. The world is not Ireland. All right, the world is not all about Irish. It's not your world.
First of all, Irish people aren't protesting immigration in Britain or anywhere else in the world other than Ireland. So what the hell is he talking about when he says, this is not your world, the world is not Ireland? Irish people aren't trying to do anything to the rest of the world. They just want sovereignty and security in their own homeland. Ireland should absolutely be about the Irish. What a strange thing to say.
Migrants go and take their houses and take their cars and take their women and take
So
their...
here is me sincerely telling you, you don't have to end up being unprepared for what's coming, folks. We have so many playlists dedicated to making your own fertilizers, making your own pest deterrents, canning, making your own medicines. Go to our homepage, Starkey Farmstead, open it up and look at the playlist. You have no excuse at this point to be unprepared for what is fixing to happen in this country. Because it's coming. It's coming. And it's time that we acknowledge the problem and we begin to come up with solutions to handle what's fixing to happen in this country, guys. God bless you all. We sincerely love y'all and we want the best for you. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with somebody that needs to be woke up.